Support for this episode comes from Modern Football Technology. Modern Football Technology provides real-time opponent tendencies and self-scout while eliminating manual data entry into Huddle, DV Sport, and Exos. If you're tired of tools that are time-consuming to learn and perform inconsistently at best, then we recommend Modern Football for a fresh perspective. Schedule a demo today at teammofo.com to see a battle-tested tool that's proven to perform and deliver value. Mention Coach and Coordinator Podcast or use the coupon code CC10 to receive 10% off your first year. And listen to our recent episode featuring Folsom High School defensive coordinator Jordan Ersick to learn more about how the 2023 California State Champion uses modern football to dominate their opponents.
Basically, what it does is we've got to block as vertical as possible, and our running back has to run as vertical as possible. One, because we've spread all these guys out as far as we possibly can. Well, the fastest way to get to the end zone is a straight line. So there's not a whole lot of setting up blocks. It's more trying to run as fast as you can straight ahead.
As we have been doing on Mondays through this offseason, we share a segment of a clinic that gives important points regardless of what position or side of the ball you coach. We get insight into ideas that can work to help you improve your coaching and thought processes, and today is one that certainly fits that criteria. This clinic segment is from the Cool Clinic and Tennessee offensive line coach Glen Elarbee. The Vols led the nation in offense, and we all witnessed their explosiveness built on an incredibly fast tempo and extremely wide receiver splits. What I like about this segment is that in addition to sharing the way that they do it in the run game, what comes clear is the context within what they do and why this works for them. I believe their clarity on those things is what allows them to run one of the top offenses in the country year in and year out, regardless of what school they have been at. This entire talk shares the details of how they get it done using plenty of drill work and game film to illustrate. You can find this one on the Cool Clinic channel on CoachTube. I'll share more in our Winning Edge Takeaways at the end of this clinic segment. Here's Coach Elarbee on why they use inside footwork in the Vols offense. What you see on tape is a direct reflection of what you teach and how you teach. Video is important, but if you don't teach well, you're not going to like what you see on your video. First Down Playbook has been helping coaches teach better for 13 years. It allows you to present installs, playbooks, and practice cards in half the time with NFL quality. Coaching tools like video pairing, a player app, practice schedules, and wristband sheets have made First Down Playbook a program management system with everything in one place. If you're in a position of leadership with your football program, receive a free 1-week look at First Down Playbook. Call them at 512-814-6158 or visit them on their website or social media. Mention Coach and Coordinator Podcast or use the coupon code COACH24 to receive a $100 discount off the normal $700 First Down Playbook team membership price. Links and the phone number are in the show notes.
Really, I wouldn't be where I am today and what we've done offensively if it wasn't for Coach Hype. And anybody that's ever met me and had a chance to talk to me and ask me about Hype, guys, changed my life, man. He's such a different person, like as far as he actually cares for every person in that building. I just wish I could be more like him. And he's an unbelievable football coach, and just everything he breathes into our program and where we've gotten to is because of him. I mean, you look at that guy offensively for the 7 years I've been able to be with him. Shoot, man, we finished first in the country in offense this year, been top 10 almost every single year. He's just been tremendous, and really everything that I've gotten to accomplish is because of him and the guys that have been around me. And that's one reason, as we're going through the film today, I do want to watch some of our stuff, but watch clips from UCF and Mizzou as well, because it's kind of the same offense, and just see the transition of it through the years as well. Again, do want to thank, the guys that get to work with every day. Like last year, man, AG, Coach Golish, who's now down at South Florida, was offense coordinator and just made life really easy. And Coach Halsey now is going to be our offense coordinator, and he's just as good and like understands everything that we're doing and is awesome every single day to get to work with, just highly intelligent and just a great person. And you'll see as we're going through it, man, our running backs coach, Coach Mack, how much he's made the offensive line look good. And same thing with Coach Pope and the receivers, because we've had a lot of yards, but it's because of those guys that are able to get the boxes light and help us out. And then for sure, I was really, really lucky. Got last year, the two guys I got to work with both played for me. Alec Ablin, who's now our tight ends coach, who, man, love like a son, and Hoodie, who I actually got to see today, who's now the offensive line coach at South Florida, who love like my other son. And that was probably the best thing about today was getting to see him and knowing that guys that played for you are now coaches and doing things like that. And now I'm lucky enough to have Mikey James, who played for me at middle and who was at Utah State as offensive line coach, and then Kevin Pillington, who played for me at Mizzou, and all these guys you'll probably see a little bit of film. And I know this is the part everybody hates where you talk and you think, but just felt like I need to do that. And probably the most important person in my life, at least football wise, I remember my wife get pissed for saying that, but it's Coach Wickline. That was my college offensive line coach. Man, he taught me more about being a man and a football player than anybody ever did. And I remember coming to my first school clinic, and I was the GA responsible for putting everything together. He grinded his freaking butt off getting it right. So I felt like this time around, if anything's wrong with this presentation, you can blame me, as I've been trying to do it through the spring and on the road. So if there's any errors like that first one on the slide, nobody's fault but my own. So why inside footwork and spread and tempo? I know it's going to sound dumb. Some people already know it, but basically what we're doing, it's not duo, it's not zone, but it's kind of its own deal. Maybe it's wedge, hell, I don't know. But it's because of the width of our receiver splits. And if you watch us, man, those guys are way out there, and we've gotten to where we bring them in and condense sets a little bit more. Thought AG did a good job with that piece of it. But basically what it does is we've got to block as vertical as possible, and our running back has to run as vertical as possible. One, because we've spread all these guys out as far as we possibly can. Well, the fastest way to get to the end zone is a straight line. So there's not a whole lot of setting up blocks. It's more trying to run as fast as you can straight ahead. Like this clip, I always thought kind of illustrated that a little bit, that, man, if you can get vertical right now, you got a chance to split the defense. And obviously if it's too high, it makes it a little bit easier. And obviously if you got somebody that's super fast, it makes it even better as well. But man, our whole mission in life is to win the inside game and try to do that through inside footwork. And you'll see as we go through it why that makes sense for us. I do think there's some certain advantages that for our guys help a lot. The first, man, the O-line always knows where the ball's going, right? Somebody said earlier, and it is all about it, man, you're trying to stay between yourself and the defender and the ball. And I think Coach Heck said it, and that's what you're doing. And we can, even as we get good at it, know how we can force the running back where we want him and keep the defender away from him. I think, you know, you hear it every single time you click on one of these things about staying square. Man, I feel like we can stay as square. I don't know why I was making this thing. It said more square wasn't a word. You had to use square, but you can stay as more square in the run game than anybody else. I think that's probably the secret to the success. We can use the same techniques on a lot of different play types. Like you'll see how it just kind of all evolves. And really, when you think about it, there's a lot of combinations and gap schemes and things you'll do where you step your inside foot first, and man, it just kind of builds a bunch of reps of doing the same thing over and over and over. I do think it creates a physical mindset for the whole line. Like, man, we know where the ball's going. Everybody that we play knows where the ball's going. And it really is a battle of wills of who go win inside. And you'll see some really, really bad ones on tape today. And you'll see some pretty decent ones as well. Man, I think because of the path back and where he's heading, we get to the line of scrimmage quick. We eliminate negatives, which is always, you know, a big thing that you chart and try to be really good in the run game with. It helps us be able to put the back on different positions so that we can read an edge and kind of use defenses that try to game plan your back that way, where we get to game plan them. It fits with tempo, man. When you play fast, when in doubt, you hammer. And that's what we call our inside footwork. Go vertical, and you get a chance where you can go and figure it out.
A quick note before we continue on, I did pull some clips from this that go along with this segment of the presentation so that you can see the 4 different types of footwork. Go to coachingcoordinator.com to find that. The link to it is in our show notes. As coaches, we know that some of the biggest hurdles to our team's success can come from off the field. Your team needs support to tackle the endless list of expenses, uniforms, training equipment, travel, and more. But raising that money can feel like a full-time job. Thankfully, there's Vertical Raise. Vertical Raise is the premier online fundraising platform using innovative technology to create the easiest and most efficient system available. Raise more money in less time with a local fundraising coach who works with your team every step of the way to customize the ideal fundraiser. With options for online donations, digital discount cards, premium product sales, and even spirit shops, Vertical Raise has top-of-the-line solutions for every fundraising style. To find out more, visit verticalraise.com and we'll get you connected with an exclusive offer on your first fundraiser.
There's really 4 main blocks we use when we're doing this. And the one I'm going to focus on the most is probably our hammer footwork. I'm going to show the other 4, and then really in a game, I'm just trying to figure out ways to piece these same blocks together and make the scheme look a little bit different and mirror dress it. And I don't know if that's a word either, but it's one thing about me as a math major. So when you listen to my actual speaking, it's not real good. But all that being said, hammer footwork. How we're going to do is, man, we're going to take a 4-inch lateral step, our inside foot. We're going to take our second step. We're going to go with the crotch. We're going to try to rip our outside hand to the belly button, to the sternum of that dude. Use our inside hand as, like some guys talk about, as a catch hand. It's kind of our power hand, and also as a defense for long arms and different things like that. And man, go win and drive the inside number and try not to turn unless he turns you. And that's the main base of who we are. So if you're watching this clip, man, both tackles are going to hammer, and then we'll get into it. But you'll see it's that 4-inch lateral step. We're going to try to take our second step to the crotch. I wish both of them with our outside hand would start a little bit lower, but where they end up in that fit and trying to drive vertical and go in, because everything we want to do is get this way and get the back going vertical, and almost like a big ass quarterback sneak, really, every single play. The next thing that we talk about a ton is a big bite. I really don't know why I call it a big bite, probably because Wick used to say a lot, but it's your standard drop your inside foot on 45 and go drive like hell. You may end up using it where you're a tackle versus a 4-eye or a guard versus a 2-eye. You may use it in a combo where you're scooping the nose to the B backer or you're being to the B backer. That big bite's kind of what we're about, and it's kind of the next main block. Alex talked about it. Gallop, we call it a shuffle, just because somebody else did at some point. But that's the next thing we're going to use a ton. We're a little different, like our base way. If there's something in the gap, we're going to big bite it. And if there's nothing in the gap when we're comboing, we're going to shuffle. And don't need to really teach the technique, because everybody's taught it so much, and it's not the main reason I'm here wanting to talk to you today. But last thing's pulls, and when we pull, if it's first level defender, we're going to open pull. Second level defender, we're going to skip pull. Maybe, depends on your athletic ability. And Nell, sometimes it's just better to just let that sucker open and run. I do believe the older I get, man, trying to bottle a player into what you think is right, technique wise, isn't always the best option, man. You got to adjust for them. You got to let them be football players and give them the chance to do things a little bit differently. And sometimes you learn a better way to do it. We're still the same old deal with you pull left, you hit left, you pull right, you hit right. The only thing I've talked about a little bit differently now is on contact. We talk about throwing uppercuts, and I stole that from Eck, our special teams coordinator, but we don't do a great job of it, but I try to teach swinging both my arms at the point of impact, so I can almost put that guy into a clamp or a vice and hold him in there for just an extra second. And then obviously, man, as you pull, stay as tight as you can and get as vertical as you possibly can. Back in the day, I had a couple of guards that could freaking pull and roll and go run through your skull. So those are like the 4 main blocks we do. And then what I had planned was to watch a whole ton of tape from the years and let you see how it all ties together. I am going to show how we drill some of it a little bit heavier on the hammer footwork part, because I feel like that's in a lot of ways a little bit different than most guys do.
Here are our winning edge takeaways and ideas for implementation. 1. Gain clarity on why you do things and how everything fits together in the big picture. Coach Elarbee explains that their main mission is to get the ball vertical in the run game. The way they use their receivers allows them to clean up the box so that vertical runs are the most effective. The footwork and technique then fit precisely into their system as well. This is what makes a system of plays work together within an offense. Too often we forget that this is an 11-man game played within the context of time, field position, and score. Taking the big picture view allows all of your positions to work together to make every play an 11-man play that necessitates everyone doing their job. 2. Simplify what you do to come down to a few main things. For Coach Elarbee and the offensive line, the focus of their offense is to get the ball vertical in the run game, and therefore he has only 4 main blocks that they use. This allows for the repetition in practice so that execution and adjustments allow them to be great on game day and also play at the pace that they do. 3. It's all about people. Coach Elarbee started off the presentation talking about the people he works with. The success of the Vols offense is that they are a tight-knit group that works well together and appreciates each other. This then will come through in how players will work together as well. When your players see that from their coaches, they have a great example to follow. Be sure to check out our enhanced show notes. Today we share short video clips from this presentation section in this episode for the main blocks being illustrated. And our winning edge takeaways are detailed there in text. Be sure to sign up there for our weekly tip sheet. Follow us on Twitter @Coach K. Grabowski.